Richfield United Methodist Church. I'm Reverend Nate Melcher, and over the last few weeks in the fall of 2022, I've lifted up many ministry opportunities that you have made happen through your prayers, presence, witness, and service. And in this stewardship season, I especially lift up your financial gifts. You have given so much so that your church will thrive. Here's a highlight of what we've been lifting up the last few weeks. Trunk or Treat returned with families walking to each decorated vehicle trunk for treats, and neighborhood events like these were filled with smiles. The Easter egg hunt got out of the drive-through era and back into kids running around seeking eggs in the grass and playing carnival games. We let go of the summer carnival and had a booth at PennFest where we engaged hundreds of our neighbors with games and giveaways. Parish Companions provides a shepherding presence to people experiencing transition. Care ministers visit church members unable to fully participate in the life of the church. And Home Communion deploys servant volunteers to members unable to worship in person. The youth group served at Feed My Starving Children to pack 7,128 meals, the equivalent to feeding 19 children for a year. The youth group also assembled 22 UMCOR flood bucket cleaning kits, paid for by the Richfield UMC Foundation and sent with the Minnesota Annual Conference for distribution. Church and Society organizes our social justice outreach. They vet our partners, they organized giveaways and food drives, letter writing campaigns, and gave rapid response relief funds to Veep, Beacon, and UMCOR for causes like relief for Puerto Rico and Ukraine. Common Threads made prayer shawls and lap robes to cradle others for comfort. Hospitalities returned for funerals and memorials as a sign of comfort when we grieve. Soul Food makes sure that there are meals for people in times of transition. The Growth Scholar Program gives young artists substantial scholarships to turn dreams to vocation. Our music team of staff, church members, and guest musicians bless our worship. We took so many field trips, the Bible study groups to St. John's University to see the Illuminated Bible Museum, the youth group to the National Eagle Center, Time for Life with a trip to Minnesota's largest candy store. We went on an Indigenous Sacred Sites tour to learn the first stories of the stolen lands we now occupy. This church loves feeding people with the Super Bowl can drive and our food drives for Veep, plus many cash gifts to Veep through this church. We provide meals for families moving forward of Beacon Interfaith Housing Collaborative. We did major improvements in the building, from roof patches to new carpet, from fresh paint to beautiful landscaping, redoing the Nook as an intentional space for young families, moving the bell choir downstairs, and topped it off with a new parking lot. Time for Life offered a mix of hybrid, online only, and in-person only gatherings. Confirmation class became a 2-year ministry, and youth are connecting with each other, their mentors, and their faith. We had our first ever Vacation Bible School in person in over 5 years, and we kicked off Pub Theology as a time for adults of many generations to gather and talk about God and build relationships in a low-key environment. We worship God in a safe and accessible way in person, online, and by phone, with a myriad of guest preachers, musicians, and people like you serving as liturgists, musicians, and participating by lighting a Conflux candle and welcoming new guests each week. Thank you, Richfield United Methodist Church. Your participation is a blessing, your prayer matters, and your financial giving helps us fulfill our mission to help people live with faith, justice, and joy. Thank you for your financial commitments in next year, and blessings to all.